I want to talk about the bottom 5 teams, or the perceived bottom 5 teams you believe are going to be the worst teams in football by the end of the year. So
Yeah.
this is what I'll do. Here's my rankings for this week, my power rankings this week, my bottom 5 this week, 28 to 32. I have Chicago Bears at 28, New England Patriots at 29. Wait, hold on, I got that wrong. I apologize. The Bears are 20. The Bears are 28. Broncos at 30, the Giants at 31, and the Panthers 32. And you want to discuss whether is this 5 or what you believe are going to be the 5 worst teams in football by the end of the year, based on what you're seeing play out through 5 weeks so far, right?
Well, yeah. So you look at your bottom 5 for this week.
Yeah.
And when you look at week 17, do you think these 5 teams are still going to be in the bottom 5? Do you see any team that could make a climb?
The only team I can see making a climb, and it's only based on a 2-week sample, based on they played Chicago.
Yeah.
Carolina is pretty bad. They're going to stick there. They got a rookie quarterback that's not really. He's not there yet. Bryce Young's not there yet. The Giants are fucking dreadful, and their schedule makes it even harder. On top of that, the Broncos. I think the Broncos could be the other team that can figure things out, because they had a couple of close losses this year, as it is beginning of the year. I feel like their issues are more so on defense. I think Russell Wilson is fine. The Patriots, the other team that their schedule may keep in the bottom 5. So of those 5 teams here of my bottom 5 this week, I feel like Chicago could get out of this bottom 5, and I feel like Denver could still get out of this bottom 5.
Okay.
I don't know how you feel about that personally.
I don't see Denver getting out of the bottom 5. The defense is just so bad.
Okay, so we'll leave Denver there. Do you agree Chicago will be on the bottom 5 by the end of the year?
No, actually, for 2 weeks in a row with the offense they put up, no, I don't think they're going to be a bottom 5 team.
So if I took out Chicago, we're on that. If I took out Chicago,
Yeah.
you agree with the Giants, you agree with the Panthers, you agree with the Broncos, and we agree with the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
So Chicago's out. What team would you say? Because the only team I would consider is probably the Cardinals. Even though
I wouldn't consider the Cardinals. Cardinals have been competitive all season.
Yeah, but do you think, though, even though they've been competitive, will that translate to wins?
For bottom 5, I think it will be.
So which team do you think will be a bottom 5 team at the end of the year?
Well, you said Arizona, and who was the other?
Well, no. We said, so we have, we agreed that New England?
Yeah, no. But you had your last 2 options. Was Arizona and who?
I think that was it. We agreed on the 4, so we had one spot open. I said I mentioned Arizona. You said no, which is fine.
Yeah.
What team do you consider you think be a bottom 5 team at the end of the year that we haven't mentioned here?
I think the Colts stand a chance at.
Ooh, really?
They'll be on a bottom 5,
even with everything. The good start so far.
I mean, Gardner Minshew is going to be taking over for what, 4 weeks now?
4 to 8 weeks, yeah.
So there's a chance that he'll have them competitive as well.
So
maybe Washington. Washington's pretty bad.
That's the one, I think. That team could be the one.
And then you have Minnesota, who could sell off.
Right, that's the one too. And Kirk Cousins an issue with that. But by the way, he's on his last year's contract. I just saw today. So we want to discuss. So let's agree to Washington.
Yeah.
Okay, we're both on the bottom 5. Washington, New England, Denver, the Giants, and the Panthers. Quarterback situations, because you want to discuss how do you approach the draft and the quarterback. So first team here, Washington. You got Sam Howell. New ownership group. I mean, you obviously got to draft a quarterback. That's not a question.
I mean, yes, but I think you're going in the wrong order, because I think it's obvious Carolina's going to be the worst team.
Which would be Chicago's pick.
Exactly. And so that's where it gets crazy right off the bat. If they start to make a climb with Justin Fields, do they put up the first pick for Caleb Williams, or do they now decide to trade Justin Fields?
See, that all depends on how well Chicago does the the remaining of the season. If Justin Fields now, and again, we only have the 5 game sample to use. He has played better last 2 weeks. In
Absolutely.
fact, he's played much better, quite a
Now,
step.
now, if I was the GM, I personally would trade Justin Fields and draft Caleb Williams with the
Yeah,
number
for
one pick.
assets because you build the asset. He does
Oh, it
well this
isn't
year.
even about which of the two assets do I think is going to have a brighter future, Fields or Caleb?
I feel like Caleb
I
Williams has
think
a better
Caleb.
future. Yeah,
So,
yeah, I'm with you on that one. The Giants at 31. I think that'd be that'd be a top 3 pick in the
yeah.
draft this year. You got Daniel Jones just locked up literally this past
Only for
offseason.
one more year after this
Correct. Yes.
for
So
40.
do you eat the fucking money on a Bro Nix or
Yeah.
who are maybe let's say it's Caleb Williams, let's take the number 1 pick, it's Caleb Williams. Yes, you do that.
Yeah, because you're only going up one spot
Yeah.
at worst.
You can probably trade Daniel Jones for assets also too going forward. You may get a lot. You may get 50 cents on the dollar, depending how you ends the year
The
or
only
next
place
year.
Daniel Jones would be going to is New England.
Yeah, I can see that. But yeah, if I'm the Giants, I definitely you drive a quarterback because it's quite clear at this point that he is not the solution to the problems. Even if you agree, and look, I agree as a Giants fan, I agree their O line's fucking trash. So he's not the problem, but he's not the solution,
Exactly.
and therefore you got to make a move there, and you can blow it
And
up.
so at 3, you're figuring the Patriots are going to be the third worst, drafting third overall.
By virtue of how they're going, by virtue of the
Yeah.
schedule and all that, yeah, they're going quarterback. In fact, if I'm the Patriots, I'm on the phone probably with Chicago trying to we'll get that pick
Get that first pick.
because Mac Jones is no longer is the answer there. That's quite clear. The question is going to be now with the Patriots. First off, I mean, we talk about on the podcast all week long about Bill Belichick and his future and all that. Look, I don't think it's fired, but I think there's a conversation to be had about him maybe losing the rights to the personnel decisions and whatnot.
Oh, he's got to.
Yeah, because he's been dreadful. Even the Brady years, he was
He was terrible even then.
right. But yeah, but now it's masked by all the winning they're doing. That's why now it's
Yeah.
coming to light. Now it's coming to fruition. Coming to roost. So if I'm New England, I'm on the phone with Chicago trying to, and I'm giving away draft picks and assets to get that number 1 pick.
And even if you can't, you're taking the runner up, whether it be Drake May.
Absolutely, you're getting a top 3 pick. You're getting 1, 2, or 3, or definitely top 2 if you can, as high as you can get. It's time.
Yeah, but you're moving off your quarterback and
yes, absolutely, because Bailey's having the answer either too. On top of that, so no, you're not doing retreads. Retreads don't work as much as you think. If you're gonna blow it up and start new, and you're gonna have Belichick no longer be the personnel guy, you need to start fresh. So I agree with you on that one. The Broncos. This is interesting. Russell Wilson's on a long term deal, big deal. I know they can move off of it probably, but it'll cost a lot of money. I don't know how that works exactly.
Yeah, I think it was like $60 million or something if they were to move off after
for
this.
a couple of years, right? For a couple of years, yeah, that's a lot of money. And I have to say now, look, he didn't play well this week, but for most of the year, he's been playing very well. The issue's been the defense. If the defense did their job in the not the Miami game, but okay, so the Vegas game they should have won. And then game 2 they lost to who were they lost to week 2? That was a close game. Washington, right?
Yes.
That was on him. That was on the defense. That's 2 wins right there. They're not 1-4 now. They're at least 3-2, 2-3, 3-2, whatever. We're not having this conversation. So I think Denver most likely sticks it out with Russ another year or two, depending on how he plays the rest of the year. But if maybe using a 5-game sample, I think he's been good enough. Look, has the return on the investment been good? No, we agree to that. But at this point, I think having $6 million dead hit on a guy that's still pretty productive, I think it's too risky. Also, at this point, they got a lot of holes other than quarterback. So you at least have a decent quarterback. You at least say that. Your thoughts on that?
No, I mean he's certainly not the issue right now, but I think you're also seeing he's not the solution, right? Even close to it in the next year or two. unless they make drastic changes to their defense and
Right.
drastic changes to their O line.
But you
Even
can't do
having him there, he is not Super Bowl contender for the next
right.
couple
But
of
but
years.
but you can't also make the changes you want to make having $60 million of dead money on your cap also too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you can get young. You can get young and get better.
I gotta see the structure of that deal and see how it works. Cause I think it'll be multiple
Yeah.
years of money because I think that deal just kicked in only last year. So I don't
Well,
know.
I mean, if they have like game 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 checks, like rosters for each game, that all void, so they'll be okay with that.
Right. Then the last team here we mentioned was your boys, the Commanders. Yeah,
Yeah.
you do what you can to get in that top three if you can.
Oh, well, here's the thing. We're gonna be top five, and I think top four. And when you're top four, you know you're cleaning house completely. New GM, new coach because you have new ownership, and you know what's coming. An RG3, maybe even Ricky Williams type trade where you just give it all up
Mm-hmm.
so that you can get your guy.
New ownership too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
New ownership will be like, fuck all the picks. Let's just get our future franchise quarterback today, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I agree. You mentioned this team also too that could be in the mix depending how things play out next couple weeks in terms of like moves. The Vikings are definitely another team that's definitely in the hunt for that because if they decide to trade Kirk Cousins on the following year's deal, um, you hear more rumors about that stuff. Like, what if they do that? Just Justin Jefferson injury opens that door.
Oh hell yeah! And the fact you're hearing the talk about how they brought in Colt McCoy for tryouts,
Uh huh.
I mean that's got to be a total signal.
I think if they really do, because they got 3 weeks because Trent deadline's on the 31st. On Halloween, go figure. If let's say Minnesota loses another couple more games, they have to consider selling. And Cousins has value to a contender or a borderline contender. Like if the Jets are somehow in it for some reason, or the Falcons somewhat in it, or a team like that ilk. I'm not saying that you go there. I'm not saying teams that are kind of like
Yeah.
in the mix, a wild card.
Well, you
You
have to
get
feel they're gonna be competitive all season the way they've been
right,
playing. So
right. So they have those that Cousins has value to a team like that, and then you can use that as a way to get. If I'm Cousins, you do well on those teams, for example, you can get another long termish, nice little final deal in your career for somewhere else, like 3 or 4 year deal at age 34. So it's a lot of things that can play out there. But I'm with you. I think Minnesota's definitely a team to look out for in the coming weeks if they start selling off pieces. Do you think they'll trade Justin Jefferson too?
oh hell no.
Okay,
I mean
he has value.
you have to have something for the fan base when they're first coming out. Now, could they keep him on his fifth year of a contract, and then maybe look to trade him on his franchise tag year 2 years from now? Yeah,
Yep. Yep. Maybe.
but I think you'd keep him for 1 year, especially if you're tanking for a quarterback.
Yeah.
You need that weapon.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's interesting. I'm glad you brought it up actually because I think these next couple weeks are going to be a telltale of where direction we going. As we
Yep.
get into the middle of the fall, of course. So okay. Anyway, let's get our picks.